back here at the I-94 Raceway in Sauk Centre. It's after the race program now. And so, Dean, we already know who the track champions are. The whole season is done. We've got champions.
I'll tell you what, it was an exciting season, and it seemed to go by rather quickly. I mean, we got snowed out on the beginning of the program in the beginning of April, or at the actually end of April. Seems like such a long time ago, but then again, not so long ago. And a lot of excitement over the course of the season, a lot of close racing, and it's been just a thrilling season, James.
Remember, well, this is the 14th show of Speed Talk now. Or is this 15?
It's been a long time.
There's a lot of them. Remember the first show, Dean? We were standing out in the snow saying, we should be racing here tonight.
And that was the first time I ever drove home from a racetrack in the snow, and actually had to look very carefully on where the road is. And that's the first and hopefully the last. I'll tell you what, no rain all season was great. Each and every week, and a whole host of drivers doing a fabulous job this thing.
Well, that is remarkable, not to have a rain out the entire year. Crowd was really nice, really consistent. Car count is way up, you know. But at the end, there was a lot of drama. You know, it was a lot of fun because we got to look at the point championship and go down to the last race in 3 divisions. Go down to the last race to see who would be the point title.
And in some of them, even the last lap, actually, you know, was the drama there. And it doesn't get any better than that. You can't write a script for something like that. And it's just exciting. I know it's exciting for you to call it, and it's exciting for me to write about it too. And all the fans that come and brave the cooler weather for a change really got their money's worth out of it.
Well, it was fun. We're going to interview all the point champions. We're going to spend some time down in the pits, you know, and so that's really going to be fun. You can see the relief on a lot of these guys' faces, you know, like Ace Valencour, who we've asked him to do interviews before, and he's just not real comfortable with that, and he'd say, I don't want to jinx anything, you know, he's like that, and we're going to go down in the pits and talk with him and stuff too, and it's fun. It's like the payoff. You know, this is the payoff. Now these guys can finally relax. It's the end of the year.
And some of those drivers that wrapped up the point titles a little bit earlier kind of came into the last night of racing with that attitude, and I guess that the heat and the pressure was off for those drivers, and they could just run their race any way they wanted. So it was kind of nice to see a few of those too.
Well, you've talked about the individual races that came out at the very end. It was Pat Henry. You know, it didn't work out for him because he won the point title. This challenger, number 13. Of Maloney, blew up something in the heat race. So that did not really materialize to come down to the last race like that. But I tell you, 5-time champion. You know, you think about the Thunder cars. He's owned 2 cars that have won championships. The street stocks, the first year that they were asphalt here, he won a street stock championship racing with Al Stewart. Remember those days?
That's right.
And then he won 2 late model championships. Now it's his 2nd super stock championship. This guy has almost got a little dynasty of his own.
And he must have a great big trophy case at home to put all those trophies in, because he's got a collection of them, I'll tell you.
And they were having a lot of fun down in the pits, and so that was nice to see that.
Oh, yeah.
The other races that we were talking about, of course, we already interviewed John Notch, and he had a great, fantastic season. For the late models, it came down to the very end. It's fun because in the qualifying, which has been very important this year, it was Jesse Klug winning the time trials by 1/100th of a second over 2nd place competitor Sean Coranda.
I mean, you couldn't have figured it to be any closer. You know, that's as close as you can get on the time with the way the clock is set up to begin with. So I mean, without tying them, so it just put more drama into the night. I'll tell you.
In the heat race, they finished right next to each other. You know, Jesse just ahead of Sean Coranda. So coming into the final race, a 10-point advantage for Klug. And it really was a fun race to watch because those two were very close to each other in the entire race. Jesse Klug has a couple close calls where something could have happened, but he ended up not winning the race, but winning the point title, and that was the main thing at the end.
You know, he told me after the race, too, that he originally came into that race thinking, I want to win this race, and then he thought about it, and as that race started, he said, hey, we got to watch out, we're running for a point championship here. Maybe I won't press it as hard as maybe I normally would on a regular race night. I'm running for a championship here, and you have to drive a little bit smarter and a little bit more conservative at times.
Yeah, and then he's taking the next step up too, running the touring series next year, so that was a real good boost for that race team.
Something else he mentioned, that it's a big plus going into a touring series, mentioning that he won a track championship. Yeah. It's been several years since Jesse Klug has won a track championship.
9 years.
And that was in a Mod 4, and he was just a young kid at the time. So.
And then so we talked about the modified, super stocks, and late models. U cars, that was already wrapped up. We're going to talk with Gjerstad and we're going to talk with him a little bit
The
later.
pioneer of the U-car
Yeah.
class. Now, he's been around for a long time and just he can make a car work anywhere he wants to.
TQs, we're going to talk to Blake Bjorklund later on in the show.
Young up-and-coming driver right there.
Yeah, and then, of course, we got the Thunder cars to talk about, too. And Ace Valencour came into the last race, you know, in the heat race. Brady got put to the back and did not finish as well as he would like. Ace did real well in the heat race. Coming into the feature event, Ace just went for it. That was fun to see. A guy not holding back, you know, and he just went for it at the end. And you could tell after the races, the joy. You know, I mean, this guy is so hard on himself. He really is. And to just see him down there in the glory, this is what it's all about.
Oh yeah, a lot of drivers put a lot of pressure on themselves too. You know, it's not like all the other stuff is building up, but they always want to make themselves do better and push themselves a little bit more. And there's a classic example right there.
Yeah. Well, this has been a fun year. It's nice been working with you.
It's great, always fun. We, you know, if you ever see us at the racetrack, we always kid each other.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all in good fun. We're
That's
good
right.
buddies here, that's for sure.
That's right. And Dean and I have been working together for a long time, so
Yeah.
I think. So even when you slam me, I don't take it personal.
Hey. Yeah. But next year, look for us to be back in some way, shape, or form, and we're going to be doing all this again.
We'll be doing something anyway. And I tell you, it's going to be a fun show because we're going to talk to the champions. That's what it's all about.
You bet. And hey, it's a championship thing. Championships are handed out. Time to put a wrap on it.
That's right. We'll be back with more Speed Talk after this.
Earlier, now you get to stand out here with all the other champions, and this grin just never leaves your face, does it?
Yeah, this feels good. 3 in a row. I would have never imagined it when we first started racing. I wasn't racing too good. I remember getting lapped every race the first year, so this feels real good.
All right, and hey, no hug and kiss tonight. What's up with that?
Well, she's cold and she's in the trailer with the heater, so.
We're talking about his girlfriend, Abby. Congratulations, Rob. All right, we're down here. We're at tight quarters here. Blake Bjorklund winning tonight. And, you know, usually at this time you get the car loaded, but, you know, it's worth it to keep the car out tonight. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, we've got to work on this interview thing here a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Can you do it again next year? Hopefully. All right, we got a little bit longer one on there. We'll work on that in the offseason. Blake Bjorklund. And a guy we just talked to a couple of minutes ago, all I had to do is reposition the car, and that's not a bad deal here too. You got some champagne on it. You got champagne. You got something to eat with the certificates tonight. Not a bad way to cap things off. No, it isn't. So, you know, we're gonna try and maybe make it want to come back and race with us more often. Only if you're riding with me. You know, we'll put that spare seat in there. Maybe go for another ride. Tom Gjerstad. Hey, everyone. Here.
Hi, everybody. As you guys know, this has been a great season for all of us. This is a family affair. It's family run. A lot of these teams are all families. I'd just like to thank you all for letting us be part of your summer, and we hope to see you again next year, because it's starting to get kind of fun around here. Thanks for coming.
Back here at the I-94 Raceway in Sauk Centre with one of our champions this year in the TQ division, Blake Bjorklund. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, boy, last year, you raced here last year, right?
Yes.
Where'd you finish last year?
Fourth in the points.
Fourth in the points. So that was, I mean, you're a young guy. So was that your first year in a big car?
Yeah, I was. The first year of the TQs, first year ever racing on asphalt.
Okay.
Anything. Well, I raced snowmobiles and four-wheelers before.
So that was quite a change for you.
Oh yeah, it was interesting and very fun.
Yeah. Now, did you race go-karts before that?
Nope, never raced go-karts.
Seems like most of the guys out here go from go-karts, you know, to the Legends or TQs and whatever, but you went right from the snowmobiles and four-wheelers on the dirt to come to the asphalt. What went into the thought process to make that happen?
I don't know, I've always liked watching NASCAR and things like that, and I was very interested, and we found out about this class, and we gave it a whirl. We really liked it.
Well, you were a good consistent last year, but I think this year your program really stepped up a level. You've got 6 wins coming into the last race night. You have a 103-point lead coming into the last night, and you got a pretty good field of TQ cars here, so that must make you feel real good.
Yeah, we've been working on it all year to perfect it. We've really got the car down, pretty much doing arc on this track, and we've been very successful.
What do you think of your driving? Is your driving better this year, or is it mainly the car?
Driving a lot. I got a lot more guts this year than last year. I mean, just getting used to it, seat time.
Well, the TQs, it's a fun division to watch because you guys really go for it. You know, I mean, there's a little bit of contact here and there. It's not like the U cars or anything where they get nuts. But the TQs, there's a little bit of contact here and there. And you guys are so close together. You can run 3 wide in the corners. So, looks like a fun division to drive in.
It's very interesting. I mean, there's always somebody mixing it up. I mean, it's very good competition.
Seemed like it was a real smooth year as well, just as an outsider here, just watching every week and announcing your races. Seemed like last year there was some problems with restarts. There was always people talking about how to do the restarts and this and that. This year, it looked like the rules were in stone right away. You guys, it doesn't look like there's been any problems at all. It's been nice, smooth racing. We've got 3 guys, you and Jacobson and Nelson, each have over 5 wins. So it's been very close and competitive. It seems like this year has gone much smoother than last year.
Yes, we had a little grief last year that some people were lagging behind for the restarts. We picked it up quite a bit this year, and Darren, he's a great competitor, and Al is a very good competitor also.
Well, you look real young. How old are you?
Just turned 17.
17. So you're still in high school.
Yep.
What are your high school buddies? They come out here and watch you, or do you talk about them at all?
Oh yeah, they come out a couple times a year and they watch. They're pretty impressed.
Huh. What's it like to help you get girls or anything with being a race car driver?
A little bit.
A little bit. Well, how is that as far as you play sports, anything in high school?
I used to play football, but I kind of lost interest and got more into the motorsports.
Well, it really is tough. We've got other guys out here too that have to juggle their football practice with working on the race car. It gets to be quite a bit. I suppose, you know, you guys have it down pretty good, so you don't have to put too much work into the car, but I'm sure you're turning some wrenches, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we like to get it ready about like Tuesday, Wednesday. We like to be all done working on the car and get all the repairs and get it on the scales and make sure everything is good for the next week.
How much goes into these TQs, you know?
They're not a lot of work. I mean, just make sure everything's tight. But I mean, when you have damage, you're always gonna fix. And we like to make sure, keep it on the scales, make sure nothing got loosened up or everything on the setup is good.
Now you've raced at the I-94 Raceway here this year, and you've done extremely well, a point champion. But also, you guys are expanding and running some other tracks. Have you gone to any other tracks, and how have you done?
Yeah, we went to Elko. We got a practice round in, and me and Darren were right at each other. And Danny Fredrickson that runs ASA, he was running one of the cars, and he was in there mixing it up too. But before we got to start our first heat, it rained out, so we're going back there in 2 weeks to do it again.
Now, that's a somewhat similar track to the I-94 Raceway. Did you make a lot of changes to the car, or just?
We didn't know what to do going into it, so we just left it the same as Sauk, and it handled just great. And I mean, it's a lot shorter track than this is. It's like 3/8 on the outside, and I think this one is 3/8 on the inside.
Yeah. How about Raceway Park? I know you guys have talked about racing there a little bit. Much smaller track.
Yeah, it's really rough track. We tried it last year. I won my first heat there last year ever, but it was interesting. It was a little different, a lot rougher. Not as nice pits, but it was fun.
Now, where do you go from here is what I say. You know, I mean, are you thinking about moving up to a different division, or what's your plans for next year?
Yeah, our car is for sale, and we're looking at selling it. We're looking at buying a late model for next year.
Wow, that would be fantastic. Well, congratulations on your first point title, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yep. So, and maybe more to come. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's number 38 in the TQ's Blake Bjorklund. This is Speed Talk at the I-94 Raceway.
Hi everybody, Dean Reller back in the pit area talking with Rob Thurston, the Legends champion for the 3rd straight year. Rob, Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much. It feels great to win the third one, especially with one night to go in racing. We got locked up. It's gonna be a real fun night of racing. We're short one car. The late model got wrecked last week, but it'll still be a lot of fun.
Well, the Legends car has been your bread and butter car though the last couple of years. You know, you started out I followed your career all the way through here up to these championships, and you started out kind of slow, and that's kind of really helped you get to where you are now, didn't it?
Yeah, if you look back at my first couple years of Legends cars, I was pretty bad, getting lapped a lot. Me and John both, now me and John are both running for points championships all over last year, this year. So it's been a lot of fun.
Talking about John Lower driving the car number 69, you guys have been swapping wins all season. Of course, you got quite a few more wins though than he does.
Yeah, John came on strong this year. He's had a great year. He's on a kind of a dry spell right now, but I have a feeling he'll get back on it here one of these weeks.
What did you learn this year, or what did you learn in the past years driving these cars?
You just got to be patient. You can't overdrive them. You can't just hop in them and expect to be fast. You just got to take your time. It's going to take a few years to be fast, and I've been trying to tell the rookies that this year that you don't need to be running up front the first year. Just wait a couple years. You'll be up there no matter what.
You've got a chance to do some traveling the last few years, going to a couple other races. This year, basically, right here in Sauk Centre is the only place you've been running this year.
Yeah, we cut our schedule way down because we got the late model, so 2 cars. We figured we could just do 1 track instead of 2 tracks. So it's still been a busy year, and I've kind of liked not traveling everywhere this year. So.
And of course now school has started now, and let's talk about school. We don't talk about it very much with race car drivers, but that's very important, and it takes up a lot of your time now.
Yeah, I started school about 2 weeks ago, and it's been going real well so far. Classes are good. I should be done in another year or so. But it cuts into racing when we get to this time, so it's real hard to balance the two and try to figure it out.
I think it's kind of interesting. You go to St. Cloud State, and the colors at St. Cloud State are red and black and white. Those are the colors that are on your car. Any coincidence? Is that just a coincidence, or is there some kind of reasoning behind it?
No, there was no reasoning behind it. It's actually the same colors as my high school too, so it just worked out. Those are the colors I've always liked, and that's the color scheme I went with.
Of course, you had blue on your car originally, so you weren't always red and black though. So.
Yeah, we had a blue car one year, and I think we wrecked it 13 times in 26 races, so we threw all the blue fenders away.
Oh, jeez. Next year, what's the plan for next year now? Late model program continuing?
Yeah, we're going to try to step up the late model program, try to run top 5 in points if we can, and continue racing the Legend car too, so it should be another busy year next year.
One quick question about jumping from one car to the other one. Is that sometimes you have to get into that mind frame, it's like, now I'm in the big car, now I'm in the little car, or you just kind of got accustomed to that now?
The first couple weeks, I kind of forgot car was driving. It took me a couple laps to get used to it, but we got it figured out now.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do the little numbers thing here. He's Rob Thurston, he drives car number 2. It's his 3rd championship, but hey, he can say he's number 1. It's Rob Thurston, Dean Reller, back to more Speed Talk right after this.
Back here at the I-94 Raceway in Sauk Centre after the races with another one of our point champions, Ace Valencour. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Who would have thought when you were my neighbor 8 years ago that you'd be right here?
Not me. No, I had a real tough time in Alec. I tell you what, just to finish in the top 4 up there is really something. To come out here and do this is great. This is awesome. I never felt like this. And I hope to have this feeling again.
Well, the thing is, you're living up in an apartment. Begging, borrowing, and stealing. Maybe not stealing, but at least begging and borrowing to try to get a car out there. And then now, not that many years later, you learned a lot, and you're out here in the point title. You get the point title.
Every year's a learning year, and the more I progress, the more I learn. And I got to thank all my sponsors. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be out here. And wow. What can I say? Sponsors.
Yeah. I know this is public access, so we can't actually mention the sponsors, but everyone knows how important it is, to make the race team go. But really, talk about your driving a little bit too. I mean, what have you learned in the last few years, to get to this point?
As far as actually getting in a car and driving.
Well, I mean, there's 2 big parts of it: setting up the car, which you do yourself,
right, and
then the driving part of it.
Right. Well, I think the driving part's the easy part. Setting it up is the hard part. Driving, I just go out there and keep my nose clean, 99.9% of the time. And once you do that, all these other guys are going to have, basic respect for you because you're not hitting and running into them and all that. And that really helps. And it's all these guys that I race against. Most of them are pretty good, clean drivers. But I did have a few try taking me out. But that's racing. It's stuff you got to put up with when you race undercars.
Yeah.
And it's been a real good year, and I can't complain.
Yeah. We'll talk about tonight a little bit too, because it was pretty close coming into the night. you know, I wrote on the internet that the, I don't know if you read it or not, but the heat races are going to be very important because I think it was a 12-point gap. Wasn't it a 12-point
12
gap?
points.
And so it's really tough to make up 12 points in one feature race.
Right.
But if Brady were to make up points on you in the heat race, cut that margin down, put pressure on you for the feature. Because I know you're not a guy who likes to run half speed. You have to run flat out all the time. You've told me that before. You
Right.
want to win every race. It doesn't even know if it's the smartest thing to do, but that's just the way you are. And that's what you did tonight. You ran hard.
Right. Well, you know, I wasn't pushing the issue. I figured at third, Parker's still behind me. Even if he would have finished in front of me, it wouldn't have mattered. But Messer was getting a little loose in front of me. You know, just let him go, whatever. But congratulations to him on 4 wins in a row, and he's a real good guy. And congratulations to Parker crew as well. They got second. If I would have even got a flat tire tonight, they would have took it. So, you know, it's like thank the good Lord.
How about the heat race, though? Because, I mean, it was close. The 3-car and the 55 got together. You guys are making it 3 wide in the heat race, and if you think about it, if you would have wrecked in the heat race, you know, that would have been it.
Right.
Brady would have probably won the point title. Were you thinking about that in the car at all?
I've been thinking about that for the past 3 or 4 weeks. I've been taking it easy the past 3 or 4 weeks. Usually I race for the feature win, the heat win, but the last 3 or 4 weeks I've just been taking it kind of easy. I've been thinking about the points and thinking long term what's in it for me and this and that. And I don't know if this is going to help me in the future or not, but if it does, good for me. If it don't, well, we'll see.
Well, you were running it hard because you were on the very bottom in the heat race, right? Those guys were above
you. Know what?
coming out of 3
I
or
dove
4.
that thing in there as hard as she'd go, and them guys, I knew her right there. I was kind of expecting Barker to run into me.
He did
Because
so.
we were just right there,
Yeah.
and I dove ding near the left front tire in the grass and just put her to wood and let her go.
And those guys, I mean, they ran out of room. They got into each other, and they both got sent to the back of the pack, which helped you a lot. I think it took the pressure off of the feature, didn't it? A little bit?
A little bit. That's the key word there,
see,
a little bit.
I don't know if you knew this, but there are 18 cars in the feature event. If you would have finished 16th and Brady would have won, he would have won the point title.
Right. Well,
So
that was on my mind.
You
believe
couldn't.
me.
If you would have wrecked, he would had a chance to win.
Right.
But you didn't drive like that. I mean, you finished third in the feature.
Right. Well, even if I would have got a flat tire or anything, you know, someone upstairs likes me at least this year. So it was a good year, and wow.
Yeah.
This I've never felt like this. This is great. I love it.
Yeah. Congratulations on the Thundercar Championship, and you know I think it means a little bit more than maybe it had in the past in this division, just because what I mentioned. There's a lot of guys out there now, and this is becoming a very competitive division. You know, back when I raced it, you know, I mean there was 5-6 guys out there.
Right.
You know, and there'd be a different 5 or 6 guys the next week. You know. Where now we got 18 cars in the feature event, so that means a little more that way too.
Well, I got a few years experience with some of these guys. I raced another track, dirt, for 3 years, and this is my 3rd year out here. And well, like I said, every year is a learning year, and you wouldn't believe it, but every year you learn more and more and more stuff, especially about setting up your car, tire pressure, everything. It all comes into play. And
do you ever think if I only would have known that a month ago?
Yeah, many times, especially like the last 2 or 3 features. I did some things in my car that I probably shouldn't have done. I could have won them, but you know, live and learn. Like I said, you learn more stuff every year. And the more I learn, the better driver that makes me as far as setting up my car, because I really can't depend on anyone else. I work on my own car. I don't have a big fancy garage and all these tools and everything. I work in my car outside.
Yeah.
So,
you know, a funny thing that John Notch, the modified champion, he said he wouldn't want to be a guy just new to the asphalt. You know, he said because there's such a learning curve. You know, that's what he said. He said I wouldn't want to be a new guy in the modifieds. So that's kind of what you said too. You know, you learned a lot. In the Thunder cars, that gave you a leg up at the beginning of the year.
right.
So, well, congratulations on that, and
Thank you.
Good luck in the future.
Well, I'll need it.
That's Ace Valencourt, and this is Speed Talk. Back at the I-94 Raceway after the races with the point champion in the late models. Jesse Klug. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
You know, that was an exciting race too, because we were counting it down, how many points, where you needed to finish in conjunction with Coranda. You did well. I mean, he was right with you in both the heat race and the qualifying, both, with the time trials.
Yeah,
but you won time trials. The pressure was on you.
By 100th of a second, so it was too close for comfort.
1/100th of a second.
Yeah, you can't even actually, I tried that on a stopwatch, you can do about 1/10 and a half, and that's about it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So you guys were still close coming into the feature event. You had picked up 2 points on them, so you had 10 points.
Yep.
You're starting side by side with them, back in the pack. I mean, what were you thinking?
At first, I thought if we got the car, we're going to try and win this deal. And then we kind of got in there, and there was cars crashing and cars sliding, and I figured, hey, just kind of take it easy. And from there on out, I basically kind of looked at the 22 car and figured to stay behind them because it was a 1-point advantage either way we win. And last couple laps, there was a bunch of noises happening, and off it goes. But we made it through them in one.
You got real paranoid at the end.
Well, I mean, gauges are flickering, and brakes are flying, and sparks are flying. You know how it goes. Jeez. Yeah.
And this is a late model division. You've raced for many years, going up, starting in the go-karts and going up to the Mod 4s. You won a point title in the Mod 4s. Now, how long ago was that?
That was 93.
93, so that's 9 years ago, Jess.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I'm getting old.
9 years ago, you won your first point title.
Yeah.
And then now you finally won it in the late model.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you've come a long way?
Yeah, it's been just bad luck. And all this year, we crashed the first night. We had a couple DNFs, had a fire leading the race that one night, and I figured, deja vu, I'm going to get second again. We edged it out at the end. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing that we've done is everybody stuck together as a team and worked and worked and worked, and that's maybe something in the past that we didn't do.
So the second half of the year, really, you've been really on track.
Yeah.
I can tell your confidence has gone way up too.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, and I mean, my dad's been working, and when we do better, everybody works harder at it too, so it goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun, and you proved this year now that you can handle the pressure. I mean, not that you couldn't before, but I mean, you had a lot of pressure on you. You were quite a few points behind. I don't know if you ever tallied it up.
I think we were 36 behind like 4 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, in just a month. And before that, you were even a little bit more behind. So that you've come a long ways, and you've had pressure on you ever since then. So I think you've proved that you can handle the pressure now. And now you're going to take the next step and move up to the ASA ranks, and
the pressure gets twice as tough.
You're going to have a lot of challenges, and you know that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you're going to have a car that's foreign to you. You don't know that car.
Yeah.
You're going to have to learn that car. You're going to have to learn all new tracks. So, I mean, it's not going to be easy at all, but I tell you, we're all going to be cheering for you. And it's going to be fun to watch you on TV.
Except this guy right here, he won't cheer for me.
Yes, I will. No, it's really been fun to watch you this year, so congratulations on that. And I know you have a lot of fans out there, too.
Yeah, and I want to say hi to all you guys out there. Thanks a lot.
You did not win most popular driver, though.
Yeah, I know.
It was close.
Can't win them all.
Yeah. That was a fun thing we did on the website, and got a lot of people involved in it. And, you didn't do enough campaigning.
I know. I'm just lazy. I was working on my own car,
working on the go-karts and everything else.
Yeah.
But good luck in the future, and congratulations on that, and let's enjoy the party.
Yeah.